Hey everybody, how's it going? Let's talk about your home recording studio. Today, let's talk about a topic that has been at the forefront of my mind, at least recently. And that's how do you deal with less than perfect conditions in a home studio? Now, the room that I moved out of recently, I mean, it was a dream room. It was a dream for me. And not everybody has a dream room for a hobby. We're in bedrooms and basements and attics and living rooms and whatever. So really, the vast majority of us are dealing with kind of multi-purpose rooms. How do you actually make music using microphones and sensitive microphones and things like that in a what really is a pretty terrible setting for that kind of purpose. And really, I think it comes down to a few different kind of major categories of problems. Probably number one would be sound in and out of the room, or ambient noise, right? Either the world is making too much noise for you to do what you're doing, or you're making too much noise for the world to accept it, right? So either you have people living in the house with you, they make noise, and you break out the microphones, and you can't really record anything with all that ambient noise going. Maybe you have noisy appliances, your neighbors mowing the lawn, planes flying overhead, people playing on the street, dogs barking, whatever. And then, also the other way around. Maybe you play guitar, play drums or something that's really loud, and it might disturb your family in the house. It might disturb your neighbors, people outside. And really, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but man, there's not a whole lot you can do about that. Aside from construction, and that is how soundproofing is achieved, is through construction methods. There's no foam to put on the walls. There's no sound absorber or anything that's going to really make any difference in sound coming into your room from the outside and sound leaving your room to the outside. So you kind of have to find ways around that. Really, when it comes to dealing with ambient noise, what I'm going to have to do in this room, again, I don't even have a door, and the acoustics in this room, since this is kind of a temporary setup, I'm not going to get too crazy about placing sound absorbers and everything like that. I just don't have room for it in this small room. I'll probably do some. But there's just not room to have a whole bunch of panels and corner traps and ceiling cloud and all that stuff. Really, about the best thing that you can do to combat ambient noise coming into your studio and too much noise of yours leaving your studio is record direct when you can. And recording direct means that you're not using a microphone. You're plugging an instrument or whatever straight into your computer. You're using direct boxes. You're using, like for guitar, maybe guitar amp simulators or cabinet simulators. For drums, it would mean using virtual drums or virtual instruments. For keyboards, using virtual instruments for keyboards. Basically anything you can do to keep from having to use a microphone. The quality of digital, purely software virtual instruments is getting very good. It's turning into a pretty good option. Not perfect, and a lot of times they take a lot of kind of tweaking to get them to sound convincing. And honestly, that's okay. If you don't have the ability to see, like here, I'm in an upstairs room, in a room that faces the street. And the houses in this neighborhood are very close together as well. So I just really, realistically couldn't get away with turning up a guitar amplifier loud enough to really get the speaker working and get the tone that I want without, having the cops called on me, without my neighbors getting mad. I'm the new guy in town, and I don't want to, make all my neighbors mad. So recording direct, that's, a way to get around that. Virtual instruments is a way to get around that. Now when it comes to recording like acoustic guitar or vocals, with acoustic guitar, I really, really hate the tone of a direct recorded acoustic, like the either under saddle piezo pickup or like a sound hole pickup and then, feed that direct. Those are really designed for live sound. for like feedback-free live sound applications. You know, they're kind of a necessary evil for playing acoustic guitar on stage in a loud environment. In a home studio, there's really not a whole lot of reason to record acoustic direct, but again, if we're dealing with these limitations, we got, you know, people talking in the house, got the TV on in the other room, you got the dishwasher on, the washing machine's thumping and, you know, in the spin cycle. Okay, maybe a direct acoustic guitar sound would be okay. That's just one of those things where there's no like convincing alternative to putting a microphone in front of an acoustic guitar. You know, same thing with the human voice. There's really no convincing alternative to just putting a microphone in front of your face and singing into it. But now you have this sensitive ear in the room that just hears all the imperfections and all the bad acoustics and then all the ambient noise and everything. And really about the only thing that you can do about that is try to, it's basically about planning and scheduling, all right? See if you can talk to your family, talk to your roommates, whoever lives in the house with you, whoever's watching TV or making noise, or if the dogs are barking, maybe put them outside for a little bit. If you have roommates or parents or kids or whatever, maybe make an arrangement. Maybe, you know, ahead of time, hey guys, you know, every Sunday at noon, I'd like an hour to have the house to myself so I can record some vocals or record some acoustic guitar or, you know, flute or violin or whatever instrument you play that you're wanting to record with a microphone. You know, make some arrangements. See if you can kind of get on a schedule, because it's not really that helpful to just kind of show up and like run into the other room and all of a sudden be like, hey, everybody, I need you to leave now. I've got to record this thing. You know, that's probably not going to go over too well. So maybe see if you can, you know, plan ahead a little bit, schedule some time. Every, you know, Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock, give me an hour alone. You all go out to dinner and I'll sit here and eat a Slim Jim and record some vocals or something, right? You know, you know, hey honey, would you take the dogs for a 45-minute walk, you know, in the evening or something? Then I can have a little bit of time here myself in silence. Now when it comes to like ambient noise from the street, you know, you just don't have very much control over that. You know, traffic noise, pedestrian noise, kids playing the swing set at the park down the street, planes flying overhead, the jackhammer, you know, on the next street over that's taking care of a pothole or a fire hydrant or something. You know, with that kind of stuff, typically, you know, at night, those things tend to kind of calm down. Air traffic kind of slows down. Street traffic slows down. I don't know. Maybe you can arrange something then. Maybe even early in the morning. You know, even before sunrise. I know for me, I'm a late person. That would never work for me. But I think in my near future here, there's going to be some of these kind of tactics going on of hey, would you mind taking the dogs for a walk, and then I can have some time to do my thing here with no noise. Or if the dogs are making noise, maybe I can put them out in the backyard and have a little bit of time to do my thing. So these things have been on the top of my mind. I know they're things that people all over the world in home studios everywhere are dealing with, because not everybody has a soundproofed, dedicated room to do these things in, right? So couple ideas. Hey, if you guys are dealing with the same kind of problems or anything, you know, leave a comment below and you know, let's talk a little bit about what you do to kind of mitigate some of these inherent problems in recording music in a home when you don't have a dedicated space for it. All right. So I guess that's about it for this time. So I'll talk to you guys again soon. All right. Take it easy.